Gator Dave, how we doing?
We're good, Mike. How are you, sir?
It's bowl season, Dave. It's bowl season. It's
It
finally here.
is. We're going bowling. All right. Looking forward to it. Looking forward. We got lots of games over the next few weeks coming. Um, we start obviously with this weekend in the Army Navy game, and we're calling this one Bowl Week 1. We're gonna have three more shows after that. We'll talk about that in a second. But please subscribe, like, follow us on YouTube. Hit that like button, please. Live shows Wednesdays at 8 p.m., but we're going to adjust the schedule for the holidays. We had a respectable week, Mike, last week, I guess, rolling into championship week. 5-4 is not too bad, each of us, right? On those games, not too shabby. We were above the 50
Yep.
50 line. Not where we would like to be, but not too bad. Did you got the numbers there, or we just
Yeah,
rolling?
I threw them up already. Threw them
All
up.
right,
So
good,
we're,
good, good,
we're moving
good.
past them.
All
On to the
right,
next.
so I wanted to talk the schedule for the next 3 weeks. So next week we'll do our normal Wednesday show at 8 p.m. And we're gonna roll with we got 13 games on the 18th next Wednesday. And then we're going to move to Mondays because we don't want to screw around with New Year's Eve, Christmas Day, and New Year's Day. So we're going to roll with Mondays. So after next Wednesday, we're going to roll the next two Mondays on the 23rd and the 30th. And we've got, 12 or 13 games in each of those. We kind of split everything up. It should be pretty fun. So that's where we're going. So look forward to the coming 3 weeks and rolling out the season here. What do you think, Mike?
I think it sounds good to me. Shout out to Ian and Caleb in the chat. See you. Appreciate you guys. What's going on this evening? But yeah, you said it. We're talking the Army Navy game this weekend, and then the first 5 bowl games of this bowl season. So, Dave, you want to get it started with the
We
classic
can do
military
that.
matchup out of Maryland this week?
We can do that. So our armed services teams are playing the infamous Army Navy game. Army getting favored by 6.5 points, over under at 38.5. They're playing at Navy. Both these teams. This is probably, I was listening to the radio today, and it's probably the best year that the two teams have had together combined, right? 8-3 Navy and Army at 11-1. Just an amazing record with both those guys. Navy's been on a bit of a slump. They've lost three of the last five. Um, and they lost to Tulane by 35 points, Rice by 14, and Notre Dame by 37. Those were their three losses. In Army, their lone loss was to Notre Dame. Common opponent here was that Tulane, right? So Navy lost to 35 points, and Army beat them by 21. So Navy comes in 7-4 against the spread. Army at 8-3-1, looking real good. Two awesome quarterbacks in Horvath for Navy, and Army and Daly, who can do it all. 25 TDs this year, just amazing for a quarterback. The Black Knights are 15-1 straight up in their last 16 games overall. Pretty damn good. Army is also 5-1 against the spread in the last 6 games. Army seems to be the team that's a little bit better coming into this one here at the end. I think they're going to score 20 or 30 points. I don't think it's going to be one of those 17-point games. I think they're going to be up near 20 or 30 points. So I'm going to say Army in this one to cover the points, Mike. What do you think?
I'm with you. Army minus 6.5. I think it's cake. I love this. I think they are going to beat Navy pretty badly in this one. Navy's got a good record. You said it, but Navy is not a great team. Army has a great defense, great offense. Bryson Daly is a huge difference maker for that Army offense. He was a potential Heisman candidate for a while. Didn't ultimately get the finalist invite, but give me the better defense. Give me the better quarterback. You got Horvath for Navy. He's questionable. He might not even go. He's been dealing with injuries. Give me Army to get it done in a big way. Something also to note, look at the under in these games. We talked about it before. When these military matchups happen,
Yeah,
Army, Navy,
always usually
Air
low.
Force, it's usually low. That 38.5 is probably decent. I kind of see this game being like 20-3 Army. That's where I see it at. So I'm probably going to be on that under too. I just like Army more.
Yep. All right. Cool deal. So next game is still staying kind of military tourist. We got the Veterans Bowl in Montgomery, Alabama, and we've got South Alabama getting 7 there, playing Western Michigan. Over under is 57.5. Both teams just eked in 6-6. Now South Alabama has won 3 of the last 5 games, but those were to Southern Miss. They did beat Louisiana, which who was in the Sun Belt Conference championship game, and they also beat Georgia Southern, but they did lose last week to Texas State. Western Michigan lost 3 of the 4 games. Both teams come in pretty crappy against the spread as well, Mike, 5-7. So South Alabama quarterback Lopez, he's 66%, 2,500 yards, 18-5. Western Michigan's quarterback, guy named Wolf, he's a little bit better, 67%, 2,200 yards, 17-7. There is question on Mr. Lopez at this point. An injury he had in the last game could limit his ability to play in this game. Their backup is a guy named Bishop Davenport, is the backup quarterback. So he had a foot injury, Mr. Lopez, and he's quite questionable at this point in the game. And if he does not play, then you want to lay heavy on the Western Michigan side. Now, I think the weather's going to play a factor in this one. They're expecting a lot of rain. I think it's going to slow the pace down, the tempo down. It's going to be run the ball, wind the clock. Western Michigan's offensive attack's been pretty solid with since this kid Wolf's taken over under center. I think this 7 points is too much here. I think South Alabama could maybe win by 3, but Mike, I'm going to take the Western Michigan Broncos in the 7 points here, sir. What say you?
We got our first head-to-head of the evening here, Gator Dave. I'm going to take South Alabama minus the 7.5. I think Gio Lopez is going to go. He has already announced that he's not going anywhere in terms of the transfer portal, so he will be back for South Alabama next year. I think he's got something to play for in this one because of that. They want to win this bowl game. I think he does end up going. It's just a matter of how much he can provide, given that injury. The backup, I think he's going to be able to get it done. But in terms of a rush threat, he is not the same as Lopez. Lopez has 7 touchdowns on the ground this year. He's averaging almost 6 yards a carry. His backup was more like 2.5, 3. So a little bit of a difference when it comes to a dual threat capability there. So that's something to monitor. Weather, you mentioned it, is also something to monitor. It's December now. Humidity's gone a little bit. Still different for those boys up in Western Michigan to make this trip down here. It's in Alabama. I expect South Alabama fans to be there. Not a lot of Western Michigan fans, I don't think, are making the trip for this one. So give me the Jags here, Gator Dave. And I also want to mention, this is my cover your assets game of the week. Because the line is sitting at minus 7.5, cover your assets and take it down to minus 7. Go ahead and lock in this one just to make sure. And also, while you're at it, head over to Shop CYA up here over yonder and check out what they have to offer. You're going into football games. You're going into concerts. movie theaters, opera houses, I don't know, wherever else you might go nowadays. You need clear plastic bags. This is a piece of paper that's inside this plastic bag, so you know that it's a clear bag. All right? You're going through security. They got to check your stuff, but when you get through security, people can still see your stuff. Now with this, you just snap it on. You just snap it on and you're good to go. It's covered both sides. Nobody can see what you got going on. In a world of tap to pay, you got to cover your assets, people. So, and do the same thing with South Alabama, -7 rather than 7.5. But I'm going to take them 7.5 for the show for transparency purposes. But cover your assets.
And I bet Mike, I bet this one is when they pan the crowd, there might be a couple of empty seats in this one. Just speculating, maybe 1 or 2 empty seats.
I think they'll be lucky to put 2,000 people in this stadium, Gator Dave. I think that's how it's going to go.
They might same hymn book.
They might sell 2,000 tickets, but I don't think there will be 2,000 people there for this one. We can see. We'll check back in on this on the 18th next Wednesday.
There we go. All right, next game. You got my Tigers, man.
Yeah. Shout out to Navoski in the chat. I see you. What's up, brother? Hashtag cover your ass. Always. All right, yeah, you can take this one, dude. It's your alma mater, dude.
All right, this is my team here. So we got the Memphis Tigers playing the big boy league. They're playing West Virginia in the Frisco Bowl in Texas on Tuesday. Memphis is getting 3 points here, favored by 3. They come in 10-2 in the AAC. West Virginia is 6-6 and have fired their coach. So there's all kinds of rumors floating around. Who's coming back? We getting a repeat of an old coach, or we kind of like some of these other schools are doing? We'll see what happens. But they did fire the coach. Memphis won 4 of the last 5 games. A very impressive win over Tulane at the end of the year, very last game, to kick them in the nads and put them out of the possibility of the playoff, which was awesome. West Virginia's lost 2 of 3. And they lost to Texas Tech by 37, Baylor by 14. They did beat the mighty Knights of UCF by 10. So, but obviously the folks there in West Virginia didn't like what they saw and have shit-canned the coach. So Memphis comes in 6-5-1 against the spread. West Virginia's 5-7. I think my boy Hennigan, Seth, 64%, 3,208 yards, 23 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, going to come in to roll really hard in this game. It'll be his last game. He's done a great job there in Memphis. They've actually recruited a top 10 quarterback officially straight out of high school, which has never happened. So that kind of tells you where this program's going. So he's on the ropes coming in, but this will be his last game. Hennigan's last game, I think. He's going to be out to show it. In terms of portal news, Mike, Memphis has the safety that's hit the portal. He only had 19 tackles. West Virginia, a hot nugget. Their second leading tackler, linebacker, Josiah Trotter, in the portal. Losing a little on defense here. So, again, I think the Tigers are going to have something to prove here. Hennigan's his show out. They got a great running back in Anderson. Neil Brown's a bye-bye. Give me the Tigers in the money line, Mike. Go Tigers, go.
Well, I'm not giving you the money line because this spread is 4.5. But you can get the Memphis Tigers still in 4.5. Because I'm going to take them with you, Gator Dave. I was on Memphis to get that 12th spot at the beginning of the year in our preview show for the playoff. They kind of let me down on that one. They were close, but they let me down. Boise definitely got it. Boise secured a top 4 seed. So congratulations, Dave. Good call there. Good call. But yeah, give me the Tigers in this one. I think it's going to be too much. You mentioned Neil Brown getting fired for West Virginia. Major distractions there for the players. Should they stay? Should they go? They have no idea who the next head coach is going to be. Things are out of whack there in terms of kind of superiority and who should they listen to, who should they not. Now you got the transfer portal thrown into it. That was already a mess in the past. Then you throw it's no way. Memphis is going to beat them pretty badly. I like 38-13, something like that. I think this is a lock. I'm surprised this wasn't a Gator Dave lock, to be honest with you, Dave.
Well, got to be fully. It's a bowl game, Mike, and you know how Gator Dave's just not. He doesn't.
Yeah, you are
feel
scared
real
of the bowl
strongly
games.
about bowl games.
Yeah, you are scared of the bowl games.
Too much involved. The analytics kind of go out the window. So, all right, you got the next one, Mike. Western Kentucky and James Madison.
Yeah, we got 3 games left. We're halfway through the show already, so that's awesome. Making great time here for the people. James Madison's an 8-point favorite. Over-under sitting at 52.5. This is the Boca Raton Bowl down in FAU Stadium, Gator Dave.
South of 20 minutes south of Ian Cupello down there in West Palm. He could go to that game, but there's probably going to be plenty of seats in this one too, Mike, I think. Go ahead.
I'm sure he loves the name drop, Dave. Yes, I think there will be plenty of seats in this one, but I think you may be surprised. This is nice weather. They're less than 2 miles from the beach over here at the Boca Raton Bowl. All right, Dave.
Yeah.
Kind of sad that they couldn't get a sponsor for the Boca Raton Bowl, in my opinion, but I digress. I'm going with James Madison minus the 8 points. It's high. It's a little sketchy. I think Western Kentucky could come to play a little bit in this one. It's a little bit worrisome. James Madison's quarterback, Alonzo, I think it's Barrett. He's been a little shaky this year. He started off great. Everybody was all over him. He had a 7-touchdown game. I think it was one of the first 3 weeks of the season. And then kind of as the season's progressed, his numbers have gotten lower. Doesn't throw the ball very well in terms of yardage. He does have the ability to run the football. He's not doing crazy numbers there. He's not Lamar Jackson. I think James Madison finds a way to get it done. I do not love this one. I will say that. But give me James Madison minus the 8 here, Dave.
Yeah, so I flim-flammed on this one back and forth, up and down, sideways, because I couldn't decide on which way I wanted to go, either James Madison, Western Kentucky, because I was thinking the same thing on some of your concerns about James Madison there. The one good bit of news is nobody in the portal yet for either one of these teams. So against the spread, Western Kentucky 7-6, James Madison 6-6, so not a lot there. I mean, this thing really is kind of it's right there together. All the numbers and analytics really kind of go together. But when I look at what's happened as of late, the James Madison's, they've averaged 34 points a game, and Western Kentucky's around 26. You put that together, you got 60. That's that Memphis math. So that's why, Mike, I'm going to go the over 52.5 points here, Mike, because I couldn't decide on which one of these guys to go with. So that's where I am, sir.
I think that's I may have to change mine ultimately before that game comes around, because I think that you might be onto something there, Dave. All right, moving on. We got Cal taking on UNLV here. What say you about this one, sir? I think this one might be prime for the taking. What do you think?
I think it's prime for the taking, no doubt in my mind, and I think you can make some money on this one. So here's the deal. Some interesting stuff. Obviously, you've got Power 5 team going against a Group of 5 team here in this situation, but we know UNLV was only one step away, one win away from getting in the playoff. So you got California at 2.5, Mike. Is that what you got?
I got them at 2.
2. All right. So Cal comes in 6-6 in the ACC. Their first year in the ACC. UNLV 10-3 in the Mountain West. Cal lost 2 of their last 3 losses to SMU, Syracuse, and they beat Stanford. UNLV's won 4 of the last 5. Obviously, lost to Boise by only 14 in the Mountain West playoff.
Only.
However, only 14. However, they've lost their coach, Barry Odom, to Purdue. So that could be a bit of an issue, maybe. Cal 6-6, UNLV 7-5 against the spread. The interesting situation that just popped up today is Mr. Fernando Mendoza has hit the portal. Their backup, let's see, he's 12 of 25, 48% for 117 yards.
What's his name, Dave?
Hold on. Chandler Rogers. Boom!
Boom! All right. Double down. What school did he come into from?
North Texas State, Mike. North Texas State.
Not State.
North Texas. North Texas. Okay.
But I say that because don't sleep on Chandler Rogers.
3,000 yards at North Texas. 3,000 yards at North Texas. But Dave's sleeping on him. UNLV quarterback Williams 64%, 1735, 17-4. He ran for 770 yards, 5.9 and 9 TDs. They can run the ball. UNLV has lost cornerback. He only had 14 tackles and a running back with no stats. Those are the portal news. California scores 26 per game, allows 22. UNLV, I think they've got the better offense here. They average 36 points a game, and I think the defense can hold. I am going to take UNLV here, Mike, and because I think they're just the hotter team. And they have lost their leader. Granted, Chandler Rogers has some experience, but Mendoza's the guy that's made it happen. I think they're going to be in shock. Give me UNLV, Mike, here to cover the points. And the points, plus the points, Mike. Plus the – okay?
I love it. I love it, Dave. This is going to be another game that we are on the same side on. I like UNLV – plus the 2 points as well. I'm with you. I think the biggest difference in this game is Mendoza, the quarterback for Cal, hitting the transfer portal. Chandler Rogers does have talent. He may, he was kind of thrown into that game against SMU, which is where he got those stats in this last game. They got absolutely hosed, lost by 30 points. He's going to be running with the ones. He's going to be getting more reps. You should see improvement against this UNLV team. I think UNLV has sort of a bond that they've created over this season based off of the beginning where their quarterback and running back kind of hit the hiatus because I think it was the quarterback. Quarterback hit.
Yeah.
He dipped out.
Just said, F you,
UNLV wasn't paying him enough. Yeah, he was out of there.
Yeah.
And that sort of brought UNLV together because the guys that stayed, proved they wanted to be there. So I think that this team is on a different path with or without Odom. You mentioned it, the head coach leaving for Purdue. I think the Rebels get it done. So, yeah, 2 points, I don't know what they probably are, maybe like a plus 140, but that's probably something that, I'll consider at least for sure. Maybe a little sprinkle. Last game of the show, but certainly not the last game of bowl season. Plenty more to go. If you weren't here at the beginning of the show, we have, I believe, at least 3 shows lined up over the next 3 weeks. In total, just under 40 games that we're going to be picking and talking about. So Definitely don't want to miss it. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, get the bell down below. Turn it on so you get the notification when we hop on. Gator Dave, we got the New Orleans Bowl, Nolans. Georgia Southern taking on Sam Houston. I'm going to tell you up front who I like in this one, Dave. I don't care who you like, all right? You can tell me in a second. You like. Because, no, you don't. Who do I like, Dave?
Yeah, I do. You like Sam
Houston,
because if I was going for a team, I'd go Sam Houston. Now, what do you say? You like Sam Houston, don't you? We've been all year. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bust your bubble, bud.
I may be like Sam Houston. All right, I may be like Sam Houston. This is the first time we've talked about Sam Houston all year long, Dave. Did you know that?
It is. I know.
Same with Western Michigan. We had two teams today that we haven't talked about all season long. Fun fact of the evening. Evelyn, hello. Nice of you to join us, ma'am. Shout out to Evelyn in the chat. You missed the CYA segment. All right. Sorry. Gator Dave, I like Sam Houston for this reason and this. It's outside of football. I'm not looking at football here, Dave. I'm not looking at football at all when I'm handicapping this game. All right. Georgia Southern, you're telling me you're gonna throw Georgia Southern and the boys down south in the borough on Bourbon Street? You're gonna take them to Bourbon Street?
Oh.
And you expect that quarterback to perform come game time? Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not. On top of that, Sam Houston out of Texas, much closer to New Orleans and Louisiana. They make that trip like it's no business. I'll be interested. That's the good news for Georgia Southern is it is in New Orleans, so the party goers will go because of the party outside of football. So they should have fans there.
Yeah.
It's just a matter if they can keep the football players in check, which from personal experience, from what I've seen, is hard to do with the fellas down in the borough. So give me Sam Houston plus the 6.5. This one, you know what, could also be considered a CYA game of the week, Gabe, because you're looking at plus 6.5. You might want to just knock that one up real quick to plus 7. You know, just cover your assets a little bit. You know, we mentioned it earlier. Cover them up.
I like it.
Cover them up when you go through security. Dave, who do you like?
Like
it. Tell me why you like Sam Houston in football sense.
Wow. From a football perspective, Sam Houston's 9-3. Georgia Southern's 8-4. Sam Houston's won 4 of its last 5 games, Mike. They beat Liberty. Okay, not too shabby. Georgia Southern, they won only 3 of 5. They beat App State, Coastal Carolina, and they beat our South Alabama team. None of those 3 teams were above 500, and App State fired its coach. So that's kind of why I like Sam Houston. Now Southern is 8-3-1 against the spread, and Sam Houston's only 6-6. Can't explain that one. Southern has quarterback French at 66%, 2,619 yards, 16-7. Sam Houston has a guy named Watson. Doc, we'll call him Doc. 60%, 1598, 11-8. Portal news here, Mike. Georgia Southern has lost its backup quarterback. So
Ruh-roh.
Heaven forbid their quarterback gets hurt. They're going to number 3. So Sam Houston, however, interesting tidbit, has lost their leading tackler, Caleb Weaver, safety, to the portal. So that could have an effect. I don't see anything with the quarterback from Georgia Southern, but could have an effect on that tackler, Caleb Weaver, hitting the portal, leading tackler. So it might shift me a little bit here, Mike. I think that kind of pushed me over the edge in one situation. So Southern's covered the spread 8 times this year. Average combined points total for the Eagles was 58. Sam Houston's average combined total was 50. Mike, the over-under here is 46.5. And Sam Houston lost their leading tackler. Give me the over 46.5 points here, Mike. Think that might be a
I like
decent
it.
play, sir.
I like that.
What do you think?
So you got two overs for the bowl games to start.
I do, sir, and I have something I'd like to throw out to the group here. I have the first, only because I'm trying. We only had 6 games to look at. The first Gator Dave Bets Utopia parlay, Mike. Gator Dave Bets Utopia parlay. Here is my parlay. We might start a trend here. We'll see. We'll talk later. First game is the Memphis Tigers covering 4.5 points. Okay. 1. Number 2 is the over in the Western Kentucky James Madison game.
Okay.
And number
over
3
52.5.
is
Got it.
the number 3 is UNLV getting the 2 points, sir. Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be the Gator Day Best Utopia parlay. First of its kind. Maybe something to think about, sir. What do you think?
I like it. The over, you talked me into it.
Yeah.
And we were both on Memphis and we were both on UNLV, so
That's why
tend
I
to
went there.
I tend to like it, sir. But I would even throw a little Army. Maybe throw a little Army in there. A little Army action.
Toss make it a 4, You got the 3, the conservative 3. But you want to go.
I'm not. We're not telling you what to do, though. We're not telling you what to do. This is just our opinion.
We're not.
All right, just to clarify, we're just letting you know what we may do.
Tossing it over the fence, Mike. Yes, sir. So that's where we are after our week 1, bowl week 1. Lots more coming the way, and like Mike said, we're going to roll on next Wednesday with our normal schedule. We got 13 games in that little tidbit. And, of course, 4 are the college football playoff games, right? Then we're rolling to Monday, 12/23, where I think we've got 12 or 13 games. And then we're rolling Monday, 12/30 to wrap things up. That'll have 4 college football playoff games and like another 8 or so bowl games. So that is going to be the schedule over the coming weeks. We look forward to it, and we appreciate everyone that's been on today. Look forward to more in the coming weeks. And of course, next week we get to talk about my Gators, right, Mike? In the what's our freaking bowl somewhere? We're in the Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl, Mike, in Tampa, Florida, playing the Tulane Green Wave.
Anyway.
Next week.
Thank you to everybody that's watched tonight. Thank you to everybody who's jumped in the chat. We appreciate it. We love seeing and hearing from y'all. Real quick, Dave, I want to shout out my niece. Baseball for All. Shout out my fantastic niece, part of this awesome organization. Awesome. Chose to wear it tonight, so shout out to her. But anything you'd like to add before we sign off for the evening, Dave?
No, I think we're good, man. We're going to a little bit of a kickoff over the weekend with the, Army-Navy game, and then roll into a few bowl games, and then we'll kick it into overdrive the week after that. So we look forward to it and appreciate everybody that's liked, subscribed. Please continue doing so, and we'll keep this thing rolling for another 3 weeks. Yes.
Hold on, Dave. Check that chat.
Should pick a game and commentate live once. That's interesting. You know, I had somebody ask me the other day, what would you think about like, calling a game? I go, dude, I'm old as the ages. Plus, you know, I don't know if it's my thing or not, but obviously we could give that a shot. You never know. Never know. We'll take all suggestions. And by the way, we're next year we're hoping to take things to another level. Maybe get our YouTube converted over into some different formats. Maybe all right,
Mm.
some podcasts, and see if we can't expand our horizons in 2025. So we'll see. We'll see. All right. Mike, have a good one, man. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, let us know what game you think we should comment or what commentate on. Or what we should live. We can't live stream the game, but we can watch the game and discuss the game.
And do
Yeah,
a pod a cast like this and
like a
watch a game.
breakdown. Yeah.
Yeah, like the brothers do on ESPN, right?
Yeah, like the
The,
Mannings.
the Manning brothers. We get some
Yeah, they
guests
don't
in
have one for
here.
college. Here we go, Dave. We're on to
I know.
something.
There we
Shout
go.
out to Evelyn. See, this is why.
New ground.
Boom, boom. It's the
Breaking new
people.
ground.
It's the people
We
making
could
it
have
happen.
we could have guest visitors, Steel City and
See, now
Public
you're on to
House
something. See, it.
and,
That seed has been planted.
I mean,
There you go.
geez, it's great. I like it. Especially during bowl season. We could do that crap in the middle of the holidays, maybe. What do you think?
Perfect.
Maybe.
Perfect time. Perfect time.
Call it out. All right, Mike.
Well, thank you everybody for watching. We'll see you next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Like Dave said, the following it'll be Monday, so on and so forth. But next week, Wednesday, 18th, we'll see you there. Good luck this week. And Gator Dave, I'll see you later, dude. Go Canes. We got screwed, but go Canes. Let's go.
Peace out and go Gators.
Up and up. Up and up.